Yes, I have in fact been taking creatine for the last 3 years of my life. Alright, what's going on, boys and girls? I hope you're all doing well. So in this video, we're going to be talking about my experience with creatine monohydrate. But before we get into this video, I need to clarify I am not a doctor, so this is all just my own experience and my opinion with creatine. But now that we've got that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and answer some of the most frequently asked questions about creatine. Okay, so creatine is actually the most researched supplement in the industry. It's also one of the cheapest, which makes it very appealing to a lot of people for what it does. You can literally pick up a decent sized bag of it off of MyProtein for like a really good price. I think it's like just over a tenner. But yeah, there's actually a lot of different types of creatine out there nowadays, but just stick to creatine monohydrate. Any other type of creatine you see is probably just a company claiming that they found the best form of creatine. They're just going to sell that at a higher price, claiming it has better effects than standard creatine monohydrate. But I promise you, the best type of creatine you can get is just standard creatine monohydrate. I get mine from MyProtein personally. You can get it from any other company, but MyProtein tends to be one of the best and cheapest. Okay, so do you need to load creatine when you first start taking it? Again, no. This is just generally a marketing tactic used by companies to try and get you to use more of the product, so you have to buy more sooner. Obviously, you can choose to load creatine if you want to for a week before. I personally have done it. It will mean that the creatine will saturate into your muscles, into your body quicker, so effectively it will start working quicker. But I personally don't see the point of it. I just think start supplementing 3 to 5 grams as soon as you start taking it, and it will just become saturated in your body eventually anyway. Okay, do you need to cycle creatine? No, no, and no. Anyone that tells you you need to cycle creatine probably doesn't know what they're talking about. Creatine is not an anabolic steroid, believe it or not. It doesn't affect your hormone levels, and it certainly doesn't have the same effects of caffeine. You cannot build up a tolerance to creatine. All creatine is a naturally recurring amino acid that your body produces, and you can find it in some foods as well. And essentially the reason people supplement with creatine is because you would need an excessive amount of food, especially meats, to reach the same quantity of creatine as you would get from supplementing with creatine powder. Right, so this is going to be probably one of the biggest questions I get. Does creatine cause hair loss? Okay, no, creatine does not directly cause hair loss, okay? It does not directly cause hair loss. However, it has been shown to increase DHT levels, which can contribute to hair loss. Although personally I find this to be pretty invalid, as there is scientific literature out there showing that weight training alone can increase DHT. Obviously, if you're at a genetic disadvantage and your dad or granddad showing signs of early hair loss, or anyone in your family be that, then maybe, yes, you might want to consider whether you should supplement with creatine, as obviously it has been shown to increase DHT levels, which obviously can contribute to hair loss. So maybe just have a look at your family stuff first and see if it is a known problem in your family. Personally, for me, it never has been, hence why I've taken it for the extended period of time that I have done. But yeah, if you are worried, I would suggest just trying it out for 30 days or so, see how you get on with it. If you're really not liking it or you're too worried, it's not worth taking at the end of the day. It's only creatine. It's not gonna make you put on 20 pounds of muscle overnight, you know what I mean? So yeah, if you're really that anxious about it, just don't bother at all. Okay, so now the part of the video you've probably all been waiting for, the reason you clicked on this video in the first place. Yes, I have in fact been taking creatine for the last 3 years of my life, believe it or not. Okay, yes, admittedly, when I've been away on holiday, etc., and I haven't had creatine with me, obviously I haven't been taking it, but the max amount of time I would have gone without taking it is 2 weeks at the very most, and that hasn't happened that often. So yeah, I have effectively been taking creatine for the last 3 years of my life, more or less every day, and this is how it went. So I officially started going to the gym about 4 years ago in the summer of 2016, and it took about a year for me to start using supplements and stuff, when my friends started to recommend it to me, and about a year into my training, that's when I first started supplementing creatine. Okay, so did it work? Has it helped me with my transformation from when I was really skinny to how I am now? Yes, obviously it's done its part, it's done what it is meant to do. Obviously it has helped with size here and there, but for me personally, I found the most benefit using it with progressive overload in the gym, trying to get stronger each week. That's where I saw the true benefit of using creatine, which obviously is meant to help with getting a few extra reps in each set. Essentially, it helps with the conversion of ADP into ATP, which allows some more energy release during exercise. So yeah, in terms of progressive overload, in terms of getting more reps with a certain weight each week, I have definitely felt it has helped there. To be honest, when I first started taking creatine, I literally thought I was going to wake up the next day and barely be able to recognize myself in the mirror. Fortunately, it turned out not to be true, but in my opinion, the difference of being on creatine and off creatine is actually hardly noticeable. If we're talking about physically how you look, maybe I put on an extra half kilo at the very, very most, but obviously that is just going to be water weight from the excessive water consumption. So when you're on creatine, generally you drink more water because your muscles hold a little bit more water, so obviously the more water weight you have, the heavier you're going to be. But in terms from a physical aesthetic standpoint, creatine is not the be all and end all. It's not going to make a massive difference to your physique. Where creatine really specializes actually in performance in the gym. Okay, so what are the side effects of supplementing with creatine? I've actually got a bit of a list here of all the side effects I personally experienced. Oh wait, there aren't any side effects. I know that was very controversial what I just said, and I can already see people typing away in the comments having a go at me for it. But from my experience and my experience only, I have not seen any direct links to side effects from taking creatine. Okay, so obviously there are some side effects. For example, a few of my friends, when they initially started taking creatine, they did the loading phase and they experienced stomach aches and having to go to the toilet a lot. But obviously that is expected if you're taking an excessive amount of it. I always just stuck to 3 to 5 grams daily and I never had any issues with that whatsoever. Obviously genetics play a big role throughout fitness, and the way creatine might affect me might affect you differently, might affect your friend differently. It just is how it is. But from my experience, I had no negative side effects throughout the duration of time I was taking it, apart from having to go to the toilet a little bit more, but obviously that's just from the excessive water consumption. The more water you drink, the more times you've got to pee. You know, I don't think you need scientific literature to prove that one. Okay, so in conclusion, should you take creatine? Yes, if you've never taken creatine before, give it a go, try supplementing it. Obviously go out and do your own research first, see if it's best for you, but it is pretty harmless, not gonna lie. So if you haven't tried it before, definitely go ahead and try supplementing it and see how you get on. Just make sure you're taking the most researched form of creatine, which is creatine monohydrate, and obviously try and get it from a trusted company as well. Like I said, my protein tends to be one of the best and most popular out there, so I would recommend that. However, believe it or not, I decided I'm actually going to be taking a break from supplementing with creatine. I kind of feel like after I've been taking it consistently for the last 3 years of my life, a break is probably going to do me some good. You know, they say taking too much of anything is bad for you, and I'm sure coming off of creatine for a short period of time isn't going to be the be all and end all in terms of my physique and strength. So yeah, for now I'm going to stop supplementing with creatine, and I'll probably start supplementing it again when the gyms finally reopen in the UK. So I believe I've said everything I wanted to say in this video about creatine and my experience with it. If you guys have any other questions regarding creatine or any other supplement, be sure just to drop a comment down below and I'll be glad to help. Or if you wanted to drop me a DM and talk to me on there, my Instagram will be on screen now and down in the description. Make sure you go give that a follow. But other than that, boys and girls, if you drop a like, it would mean the absolute world to me. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see other videos in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.